Shalom, Israel, scattered to the four corners. All right, y'all know how I like to do. This is going to be impromptu. Of course, this wasn't planned. It was just impromptu, freestyle. So I'm just going to give a few seconds for everybody to kind of get on. If you can hear me, go ahead and give me a sound check. Put a one in the chat box if you can hear me. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me loud and clear, because we're going to talk about something that's been long overdue. It needs to be addressed. All right. All right, got some ones in the chat box. All right, y'all. So first of all, I want to give all praises and honor to the great I am. All praises to our Abba. No beginning, no end. Believe that, and He will deliver His people. Y'all know, y'all was gonna let this slide. I was really gonna let this slide, but I don't watch TV. I don't have no cable. I just stream internet, but I do read a lot. And so I came across this article where Biden called Putin a butcher. Now, after I read that, I didn't think nothing of it, but consciously it bothered me because who is the biggest hypocrite ever? And like I said, I was gonna let this slide, and I was like, nah, not with good conscience, because this really needs to be addressed, y'all, because America is the biggest hypocrite ever when it comes to these kind of things. So now you got enough nerves to call Putin a butcher. But let me remind you what our people been through, which pretty much all nations like to ignore, not even pay attention to. Countless tens of millions of Negroes over in the past, surpassed 100 million, surpassed that easy. And we're talking about things that are still going on. We aren't just talking about the things that happened to us in slavery. We know that was predicted. We know that the Most High, He gave us into our hands of our enemies because of our disobedience. But the heathens, they did take it to the max. They took that stuff to the max. And y'all, what's so crazy is that I guarantee you every serpent seed on the face of this earth, especially in the US, cannot even look you in the face without an honest answer when the question is posed about the treatment of Negroes. Because the first thing they like to say, well, I wasn't there, when that all happened, and you guys are just hating and all this stuff. You're always complaining about slavery, always complaining about your mistreatment. I'm just so sick of it. But you know what? These same people benefited years off the backs of our people. Now you want to talk about butcher? How about being butt broke in front of your whole family? Can you imagine that? The man butt broke in front of his whole family, causing disrespect and just disappointment among his children watching that stuff. Well, how about being put between two horses and stretched in opposite ends until your body just ripped apart? How about them taking our children and throwing them to alligators, using them as bait so they can make alligator skin shoes and what have you? How about taking us and using us as sports, creating human zoos and making a mockery of us? And it's still going on. It's just that because you don't see the chains and shackles on your feet, don't think that it's not still going on. Because our brothers, sisters are being masqueraded, especially the brothers, are being masqueraded like we've never seen before. I mean, these nations and these elites pretty much turned everybody against our brothers. Done turned our women completely against us. Done turned everything against us. And see, this is what they do too. And you look at how the media portrays other nations, especially Russia. Oh, these guys are massacre. They're butcher, but that's the game they play, y'all. That is the game they play. And that's the lies that they speak, and I'm going to prove it to you. Because they do the same thing with us, the Negroes scattered to the four corners. They always paint a bad picture, and they always use false information constantly. So they're nothing but liars. Let's look at something. I'm going to show y'all something right quick. go ahead and turn your. We're gonna be in the scriptures quite a bit. So let's look at Psalms 58. Go ahead and turn your Bibles to Psalm 58, and let's look at verse 1. I'm sorry, verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Now, this is what, especially the U.S., this is what they do best. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is the first time ever. This is the first time when you look around, y'all. This is the first time in U.S. history. Let me repeat that again. This is the first time in U.S. history where they're faced with a threat of a superpower, not just one, but three. Let me give those to you. Russia, for one, China, and y'all can probably guess the other one that's coming up, Iran, which is ancient Persia. Now, the scripture predicted this would happen. Now, there's a book, and I meant to bring the picture up. I don't think I have it with me, but the book is called The Grand Chessboard. Write that down. It's called The Grand Chessboard. It's the name of the book. It's by Bignu Zawinski, and he wrote the book about 12 years ago. I read it, and it talks about how the superpowers are shifting, and how that the new superpowers that are rising, two of them will be Russia, and the other one will be China. Now you see how America is portraying this war. See, they're trying to make Putin look really bad. They're trying to make him look like a monster. When all Putin is doing is that he's just taking back what was rightfully their country anyway. Because them Khazars over there in Ukraine, that's the birthplace of these Khazars. Now, if you do your research, if you look up the passive return in 2013 from Jerusalem to Ukraine, there was tens of thousands of them. There were a group of Khazars that were trying to, go back to Ukraine, but Putin put a stop to that. This is not the first time Putin had to intervene, but this time it's getting bad because those same Khazars over there that did the same thing with Hitler, they're trying to do the same thing now with Ukraine. Now I want you to look. I can prove this to you. I want you to look up Ukraine's gay pride. Look up their gay pride ceremony. They do that annually. That wasn't going on before. And these people, wherever they go, they create all this madness, this wickedness. I mean, it has to go, y'all. But this is the first time in history, again, that America has been faced with the rising of other superpowers. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. America is pretty much gone already, y'all. If y'all haven't realized it by now, America is pretty much done. America is not the America that we grew up in back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's a different, yeah, it's still a bigot, and it still is against the Most High's people. But they're losing power, y'all. If y'all notice, they're losing steam, they're losing power. And if you look at our enemies and you look how they're just raging, and the Bible says, "Why do the heathen rage?" And these heathens are scared. They really are, y'all. Our enemies are scared to death because, one, they realize that their power and their white supremacy is slipping right before their very eyes. And there's nothing, and here's the crazy part, there's nothing that they can do about it. It's like it's like the Most High he's like moving to pieces. The Grandmaster, he's like moving to pieces. And no matter what these serpent seed tried to do, they cannot undo the pieces that the Most High is putting together. And it's all for his people. I'm telling you, Zion, this thing is huge. Now, I don't know what's going to come out with the whole Ukraine ordeal, but these people are scared out of their minds. These people don't know what's getting ready to happen. You got people thinking, oh, we're about to go into a nuclear holocaust. And, you got people scared because they're like, oh, I'm about to get drafted and everything. Hey, whatever happens, it's going to be in the Most High's will and in his power. But this nation is falling, y'all. It's pretty much, no, not just, let me take that back. not just falling, it's pretty much gone. It's pretty much gone. The dollar ain't worth nothing. The dollar is just it's pennies. It's not even that. They're printing. I mean, they print out money left and right. And as soon as they go to a digital currency, I don't care how much money you got stacked away. I don't care if you got 20 grand stacked away, 100 grand stacked away in your home safe or whatever. I can forget about it. The only way that that money is going to be usable, you're going to have to take it to a bank and they're going to have to digitize it. That's the only way you're going to be able to use it. And think about it, with the control of digital currency, that means the elites will have accomplished the unthinkable. They will have total control over everybody's money. And now you can see how the mark of the beast will be set up. Because, like the scripture says, if we cannot buy or sell except we receive the mark of the beast in our foreheads or in our right hand, they can shut us off completely. Now, if it was easy, think about it. If it was easy to practically get the whole world to take a vaccine, regardless, regardless of the evidence that was out there, how dangerous this stuff is, how they were able to get, they probably got, they probably, if if you're looking at the whole wide, everybody on the earth, which the census claims to be 7 billion, you got probably billions that taking the vaccine. I know in the U.S. the stats were like 200 million. I mean, that's insane, y'all. And they got our people doped out on that poison Kool-Aid. But my point is this: if it's easy to get practically the whole world to take a vaccine, just imagine how easy it's going to be to get just about everybody to accept the mark of the beast. Now, y'all know I'm not lying about that. When that's going to come, well, we don't know. But everything is being set up. Everything is being set up. But don't, you know what, Israel, don't fret. Don't be fearful. Don't waver. You just need to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, study these scriptures, and keep the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of your knowledge. I get it. We don't all have the complete truth. We don't all have, I know, I get it. Everybody is on different pages. But one thing we can do is serve the Most High with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and keep these laws, commandments, and statutes. And I get it. Everybody doesn't keep the laws and the feasts on the same day. But when the Most High gets back, He's going to straighten all that out, and everybody's going to be on one accord. No excuses. Now, after that, if anybody tries to do their own thing, they're going to be destroyed. Simple as that. Let's get into some more scriptures right quick, because just for you, some of y'all who might be doubting and you think that the Most High don't have our backs, He has our back. He's always had our backs. Now, there's going to be a test, y'all. There will be a test, and the Most High is going to test us, and it's going to seem like we're just completely deserted. It's going to feel that way, but nothing can be further from the truth. It's not going to. It's a test to see who's going to stand strong with the Most High. So let's go to Micah right quick. Go ahead and turn your Bibles to Micah, and let's look at 5:15. Give you some assurance here what the Most High is getting ready to do. Now, he said in Deuteronomy, He's going to put out the nations little by little, but I'm going to show you that as well. So let's look at Micah 5:15, and it says, "And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard." Now, that's pretty profound. Why? Because there hasn't been a time on this earth where the heathens are going to experience such a atrocity. Right now, we're starting to get into the beginning stages of things. Like stuff is happening all around us. There's a bunch of moving pieces that are constantly happening right now, and it is for the working of our people. But look at here, Zion. It's going to get rough. It's going to get crazy. A lot of our people are going to perish. Let me repeat that again. A lot of our people are going to perish because a lot of our people want to continue to do wicked. They want to continue to sell drugs to their own people. They want to continue to kill their own people. They want to continue to be wicked. They want to continue in their wicked ways. And there's no room for that. So we better get on board. We better get ourselves right. All right, let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 30. And let's look at verse 3. And of course, y'all, I'm just for edification purposes. I'm reading from the King James version. So just bear with me. I'm gonna read as is. It says, "For the day is near, even the day of the Lord is near, a cloudy day, a cloudy day." We're not talking about, we're not talking about just looking at the skies and you see cloudy and it's dark and everybody's gloomy. Nah, no, ain't nothing like that. It shall be should be the time of the heathen. Now, I said earlier that these people are like really scared because they don't know what's becoming. They know that they're losing their white supremacy. Their privileges are slowly slipping from their hands. Now they still got enough of it where they can benefit from it, but it's slowly going away. Y'all hear? And it's gonna rapidly speed up. Show you something else right quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. And let's see, I think it's 21, I believe. Yeah. All right, give you a second to get there. That's going to be Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 21. Give you a second. Just bear with me, y'all. You know how this technology stuff is. I'd like to freeze up sometimes. All right, so let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 21. Again, King James Version, reading as is. It says, "Thou shalt not be affrighted at them. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them." So what does the word says? It says that the Most High did not give us the spirit of fear, right? So we should not be afraid at all of our enemies. Now we should know how they operate. We should always know how our enemies operate. Even a good general knows their enemy and how they operate. They study their moves, right? So we ought to know why, because so that we don't be blindsided. So we know, what we're dealing with. So it says, "Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty," you hear that? "A mighty God and terrible." Man, see, our Abba is nothing to play around with, y'all. Nothing at all. And you see what's happening. Now, this is not affecting everybody completely, and when I say everybody, I'm talking about your wealthy, rich servant seeds that are just living high off the hog. But they will, it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit hard. So let's look at verse 22. Deuteronomy 7 and 22, and it says, "And the Lord thy God will put out those nations before thee by little and little, that thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beast of the field increase upon you." Now, I used to think that the beast of the field was talking about like regular animals, but it's talking about these people. Because think about it, they're dying out. Their seed is dying out. And so they're doing all their best to cling to our people. Why do you think they promote interracial marriages all the time? And it's funny because when they promote the interracial marriages on TV, when you see the commercials and everything, it's always our people. You don't you don't see like Mexicans and whites, and you don't see like Chinese and you know other Asians or mixed races and stuff. It's always us. It is always us. So that right there tells you that the war is against our people. Always been, because they know that we are the people of the book. And every day that goes by, it's always something. You see it more and more, and it's going to increase, y'all. It's going to increase. Now, like I said, I don't know, and none of y'all know. We don't all know what's going to come out of this whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, but I do know this: Russia is not going anywhere no time soon. All right. See, people think that this is going to be a fly-by-night kind of thing, and you know what's so funny is that Putin is not even using his real army yet. He's using these satellite forces that have citizenship and everything. That's what he's doing. He's not even using his real army yet. He hasn't even used his full force. But they and Putin, he got them all food. He got him playing. He just playing them, and America is constantly throwing sanctions, and throwing sanctions at Russia is like throwing water into the ocean. What you gonna do? What you gonna and he's gonna turn around back and throw sanctions back at us. So I mean, y'all, this whole thing is just a big chess move. But the real grand master is the Most High because he's really putting the pieces together. All right, so let's go to another scripture. Let's go to Ezekiel 25. All right, let's go to verse. Give me a second here. I got to find it. All right, here it is. So Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 17. It goes on to say, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes. Y'all hear that? With furious rebukes. So if I were to paint a picture to you all, because I mean, I'm a visual person, so I like to see what words look like. Like every word that I read, I try to envision what that word looks like. So when I see furious rebukes, I see stuff like major stuff, like big, huge earthquakes, like big, huge, like catastrophic hurricanes and stuff like that. All these other hurricanes, we've been seeing ain't nothing. And what do they say? Like I think it's a class 5 hurricane. Sorry, a tornado, which I think they said it's the highest ever recorded is a class 5 tornado. Well, what if the Most High brought a class 10? Just imagine what that would look like. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff is going to increase and increase. If you notice, the sun is getting hotter every year. The sun is getting hotter and hotter every year. All right. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Jeremiah. I mean, y'all, there's so many. We can be here for hours, but I'm not going to keep you here for hours. It's just going through scriptures, and showing you all how the Most High is fighting for his people. All right, Jeremiah 30, and let's look at verse 11. All right, so Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 11 says, "For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee through," he says, "though I make a full end of all nations." Did he say some nations? Did he just say America? No, he says to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. Now, when you think about this is the only time in the history of our people, where we've been scattered to the four corners. You can't argue that. You can't debate that. That is just facts. All right. All the other captivities we've been in, we were in captivity together. But this is the only captivity in history with the Arab slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade right on the backs of each other. This is the first time we've ever been scattered like this to the four corners. So this is why I know that this is getting ready to happen, because all the nations are still operating now. So all this big shift that's happening, these superpowers that are rising up and coming up, oh yeah, this is it. I mean, and we've never seen anything like this in history, because like I said, this is the first time in America's history, since they became a nation back in the late 1700s, that they're seeing their own fall right before their very eyes. And all the so-called American citizens, because when people say American citizens, we're not included. They're not talking about us. They're talking about all the white people. It says, "For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." So what does that mean? So that means that We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Why? Because we are his chosen. And that's why it says that in Peter, it says that judgment will begin at the house of the Most High. So this is why we got to be very careful, brothers and sisters, about mocking his word. You know, that's a dangerous thing to mock his word. And I've seen brothers do it, and I've seen brothers die from it. We can't be doing that. It's a very, very dangerous thing, you know. But he is coming, and he's gonna bring destruction like we've never seen before. Now here's one of my favorite ones right here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7. Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25. Let me tell y'all something. As long as I got breath in me, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep blowing this trumpet, y'all. And that's what we gotta do. All right, Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25. Because all I care about is helping my people. All I care about is my people. That's it. I don't care about nothing else. I don't keep up with nothing else. All right, Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25. It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Now, I'm gonna give you a prime example. And you look at Ukraine, this current thing that's going on, and look at all these refugees that are complaining and crying out, why is this happening to us? And all we want is peace. They can't find it. And that's what's going to happen. And that's just the beginning, y'all. That's just what's happening right now is just the icing on the cake. We haven't even got the full entree yet. This is just I don't even see this as an appetizer. This is just a small appetizer of what's getting ready to come. It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. So Biden, you want to call Putin a butcher, but they fail to realize the butchery they've done to our people constantly, and it's way worse than anybody can ever imagine. But yet, the only way that they want to try to hide it is to try to kill us off or ignore it. You know, and our people been fighting for reparations, and I don't, what y'all, I don't care because that ain't gonna matter because the Most High is gonna give us the reparations. But it's funny because America gives reparations to other countries all the time. Y'all know what it's called? It's called foreign aid. It's called foreign aid. That's the reparations. But yet, when we ask for it, it's like, nah, we can't be giving y'all nothing because again, they know that we are the people. They know that we are the chosen, and I'm telling you, y'all, they are going to catch some hell. Let me show you something else right quick. Something I wanted to bring up that came to mind. Zechariah, I think it's 1:15. All right, here it is. All right, so I want you to look at this right quick. Zechariah 1:15. Yeah, a second to get there. All right, Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15. It says, and for those of you who say, yeah, we were supposed to go through this stuff. No, we wasn't. The Most High only meant for us to be punished a little, but they took it to the max. They flipped this thing, and the Most High is going to flip them. So Zechariah 1:15, it says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. At ease, what it means at ease. They got it made. They got the privileges. Anytime you see a bum, a white bum out on the streets begging, I have to laugh. I'm like, either you just the dumbest person on the planet or you don't know how to use your white privilege. It says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased that they have helped forward the affliction. How? Okay. These guys talking about they came to America trying to escape religious persecution. That is a lie straight from the pits of hell. They wouldn't come over here because they was running from religious persecution. They came over here because it was an opportunity. America was the black gold rush. That's right. The black gold rush. They were given free land and they were given slaves. That was the black gold rush. And everybody was on board with it. Everybody. And even today, That's why when they tell us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, well, they've had 400 years ahead of us, and they still are benefiting off the backs of slaves. Everything we built, everything they're building off. And they don't want to hear it. I don't care. But they are going to pay a price because we had to pay for the sins of our forefathers. They're going to have to pay for the sins of their forefathers. It's not going to be nothing pleasant. It's not going to be nothing pleasant. And it's gonna be hell, y'all. And you want to talk about butchery. You want to talk about butchery. It's gonna be some serious butchery. All right, Jeremiah. Let's look at another one. Let's go to Jeremiah. I probably know this one by heart. Jeremiah 4:7. I mean, I should know all those scriptures by heart, actually. All right, Jeremiah 4:7. It says, "The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant." So the destroyer of the Gentiles are on his way, and then it's going to be a day of reckoning. Now, all this stuff we see going on, y'all. I mean, this is just again the icing on the cake, and it's going to be furious. All right, let's go to Obadiah right quick. Obadiah. It's only one chapter, one book in Obadiah. And let's look at verse 15. All right. Again, reading as is, King James Version. Obadiah 1:15 says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee." Wow. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head, but it's going to be sevenfold. Now, y'all, it's only fair. It's only fair that and a lot of these people are scared. These serpent seeds are scared because they uh, they look at it like we're going to do the same thing they did to us. That we're going to do to them, and they're absolutely right. Yeah, there's no there's no fickle about that. There's no secret about that. It's going to happen. And these people are going to get what they deserve sevenfold. And I can't wait. I can't wait. If the Most High's will that we be alive to see that. And again, it's whatever the Most High will be for us, and that's what we got to really, really look at, y'all. And I know a lot of you are very anxious, have a lot of anxiety, and I know that a lot of our people are just sick and tired, of this place, and I get it. I am too. But we have a lot of work to do, our people. And I know some of y'all probably say, well, don't worry about the ones who are being wicked. Worry about the ones who are in the faith. Well, the reason why we had to wander for 40 years is because of the knuckleheads who were wicked. The few who were keeping the commandments, we had to punish with everybody else. That's right. The righteous had to be punished with everybody else because of a few knuckleheads. That's just how the Most High works, y'all. It's a mass thing. The Most High doesn't, he saves us in masses, not in singularities. And the way our people are going right now, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all because our people are so caught up in so many things. And it's out of our hands, y'all. The only thing we can do is continue to pray for our people, work out our salvation with fear and trembling, and pray that we will make it. Pray that the Most High will have mercy upon his people, that are following his ways. All right, I'm going to give you one more, and then I'll let you all go before I continue to hold y'all hostage. Jeremiah 51. Let's go there. I think some of y'all already know what that's going to say here. All right. This is one of my favorite ones, y'all, because the Most High has assured us that He is going to reap. He is going to reap, and He is going to destroy. All right. I'm going to read this one. I'm going to give you one more verse. It says, Thou art mine. This is Jeremiah 51, verse 20. It says, Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Verse 21. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Verse 22, with thee also will I break in pieces men and women, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Verse 23, I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces the captains and rulers. And, and whenever we read, especially Old Testament scriptures, it always has a past and a future application, or most of them have future applications to them. And when it's talking about captains and rulers, well, current time, who are the current day captains and rulers? Our enemies. So we're seeing a big shakeup that's happening with the nations, and definitely nations are rising against nations. Of course, this has happened before, but this is a little different. This is just a little different. Why? Because this is the first time in U.S. history that America is faced with a threat. And that threat is the rise of not just one superpowers, but three superpowers. Now, that's a big deal to America. That is a huge deal. And already, a lot of them are doing their own currencies, and it's going to get interesting in the next few years here, months and weeks and years. It's going to get very, very interesting. But I know one thing: the old America that you're used to, it's gone, y'all. It's gone. And if you're really looking to get something out of this, you're not. And it's just the only thing that we can do right now is occupy the best we can. If you can work for yourself and support yourself, that's better than working a 9 to 5. And some of us are going to have to be pushed out of our comfort zone to work for ourselves, and a lot of our people are doing that. Because it's getting ready to get crazy, y'all. It's getting ready to get crazy. And when the Most High returns, He's coming for destruction. He ain't coming with roses and kisses and all that kind of stuff. He is coming with pure destruction. All right. This is Enoch. I can write this. I can write this scripture down. This is Enoch. And let's look at verse 12. Enoch chapter 62. And this is from the Sefer, y'all. So if you're in the Apocrypha, I believe the Apocrypha is going to probably be I think it's going to be either 63 or 61. Not sure, but it's there. I just can't pull the Apocrypha up on this because I don't have the book of Enoch on here right now. All right, so this is the book of Enoch coming from the Sefer, starting at verse 12. It says, all the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who rule over all the earth. All right. Who's that talking about currently? It's talking about, your world leaders. All right. Shall fall down on their faces before him and shall worship him. Verse 13. They shall fix their hopes on this son of Adam, shall pray to him and petition for mercy. And in verse 14, then shall Yahuwah hasten to expel them from his presence. Their faces shall be full of confusion. Why? Because they're like, oh, we thought, yeah, you thought what? And their faces shall darkness cover, and the angels shall take them to punishment. You hear that? The angels shall take them to punishment. that vengeance may be inflicted on those who have oppressed. See, this is the part I love right here. Those who have oppressed his children and his elect. So notice it says oppressed his children and his elect. So we're talking about the 144 and we're talking about the elect, which are two different groups of people, all right? But they still are the chosen of the Most High and his elect. And they shall become an example to the whole people, are the chosen people, and to his elect. Through them shall these be made joyful. So in other words, all the stuff that we've been having to go through and bear, and through our forefathers, through the seed of our forefathers, we're going to be made joyful because it's going to be worth it. Because in the end, it's going to be like all of this waiting, all of this trials that we're going through, it's worth it, y'all. It's worth it. For the anger of Yahuwah shall rest upon them. And check this out. This is the part that I really, really like. Verse 15, it says, then the sword of Yahuwah shall be drunk with their blood. Man, Hamashiach is going to be blood drunk. He's going to be swinging like, y'all remember that movie 300, the second one, The Rise of an Empire, where they had that dude where he was just swinging that sword like crazy? And that's what the Most High, that's what Hamashiach is going to be doing, but 10 times greater. It says, then the sword of Yahuwah shall be drunk with their blood. But the chosen people and the elect shall be safe in that day. Nor the face of the sinners and the wicked shall they thenceforth behold. Man, that's going to be a sight to see, y'all. And the Bible also says in Revelations that the blood will be up to the horse's bridle. So the Most High is coming back with some serious destruction, y'all. Ain't gonna be no joke. And y'all think y'all seeing something now. We ain't seen nothing yet. So I pray that you all are edified, Israel. I pray that you all have some, at least by now, have some sense of comfort knowing that the Most High has our back as long as we've been faithful to the Most High, keeping his laws, commandments, and statutes. All right. That covenant is conditional under one thing, as long as we're keeping our part. The Most High is going to always keep his part. We just got to make sure that we don't turn our back on the Most High and go after these strange idols. Y'all hear me? That's what's happening to a lot of our people. Going after these strange flesh, going after strange idols. And you do that, there's no turning back. There is no turning back. And these rulers of these nations, they ain't seen nothing. And you continue to look at the faces of the serpent seed, these people around us, our enemies. Just look how scared they are. Look how worried they are now. They try to hide it, but they can't hide it. They're going out buying up all this ammunition for what? For what? What they're going to use it on? They don't even know what's going on because they're losing their power. They're losing their white supremacy. So, hey, it is what it is. So with that being said, again, I pray that my brethren and my sisters were edified in the name of our Abba. And until next time, at the Most High's will, see you soon. And I say shalom and stay strong.